Hey guys, this is Camfrey15 back at it with another video for you guys, and I'm back with another One Piece anime episode review for you guys, and we are doing a double episode review, episode 1021 and 1022 episode reviews because I missed last week's episode. Yes, personally, if you ask me, I think I like the episode 121 a lot more than episode 122, even though episode 1022 was a lot better, or I mean was really good. But I still prefer 1021 over 1022. But I'm gonna start talking about the episodes and go in order. So we start off the episode with 1021, and mind you, I missed this because I was busy last week, and that was the whole thing. But episode 1021 picks up right where it left off with Robin showing up, slapping the ever-living hell out of Black Maria. And pretty much she kind of just walks up and she's got her whole aura and she is pissed. This is probably one of the most pissed off times we've ever seen Robin get pissed off towards an enemy. And pretty much Robin is telling Black Maria, like, you know, what you're doing, like what you did by hurting my friend, well, guess what? You only make me show off my devilish side a lot more of myself and everything. And pretty much Black Maria is like, oh, please, you would let this man, this feeble person, freaking take, you're going to take charge for him and everything, even after he ratted you out and everything. And obviously, Robin's like, well, Robin's like, you see, you mess with my friends, then you'll see a little bit more of my devilish side inside me and everything. And then two, I love how she mentioned she used to work for an evil organization in Baroque works and stuff like that. She knows what it's like to work in shady dealings of pirates and stuff like that. And pretty much we see what happens is how Sanji gets himself free is Brook actually shows up. Hold on a quick second, guys. Okay, back. But Brook shows up. He pretty much freezes most of the landscape and everything. It frees Sanji. And yeah, that's the whole thing. Sanji goes to leave. And you get a nice moment where Robin turns back and says, Sanji, thank you for relying on me, which again, it goes to show the camaraderie of the Straw Hat Pirates and how close they are, and the fact that they all trust each other and they can all rely on each other and stuff like that. It was nice, funny stuff, and obviously my boy Sanji was like, yeah, who wouldn't? Because it's freaking Robin. Robin's hot, yo. But what happens with Sanji is he's pretty much looking to find Kinemon and the others, but then he overhears what's going on with Momonosuke sided, because Momonosuke, in the meantime, what happened is Momonosuke, Shinobu, and Yamato, they all end up getting found out by the little mechanical rats that Bao Huang is looking around and is able to keep it where everybody's at. Momonosuke gets legitimately probably one of the best seats in the house because he literally is sitting like pretty much where Yamato's boobs are at, but directly behind it. I'm like, yes, anyone would want to be smudged, like, I guess, inside of One Piece woman's clothes, just right there, touching their tits, I guess. But whatever. Yeah, he hears that on the radio of the fact that they're on the way, and he's deciding, like, should I go after Momonosuke or should I go after Kinemon and the others and stuff like that. So yeah, but that's the whole thing there. Kinemon and the other scabbards, apparently their injuries are already healed, but Jack is on his way to try to take them down and kill them. And the end of last week's episode was where Black Maria was originally going to do it, but Jack's like, I don't worry, I got him. Black Maria, we cut over back to Black Maria, and she's like, good, you're taking care of this, because I got issues of my own, Seth. So apparently she's topless now, and she's got this staff with fire and everything, and it's talking like a freaking lunatic. And she pretty much is saying, you encourage this wrath of, all hell and stuff like that. And again, like I said, Black Maria is topless. So it doesn't behoove me to see that they're doing the same thing like the manga, where they showed her topless, but um, they're probably gonna have her hair cover her. I guess you can say the part where her nipples would be shown. They did that with Sao in terms of I forgot the name in Alicization. Crap, the one chick who was pretty much naked and Kirito was fighting in that. I forgot. Whatever. Anyways, what happens? We actually cut over to what Carrot's doing with Perospero and everything. Wanda's pretty much down for the count, and it's between Carrot and Perospero. But the thing that kind of is a catch in this fight is the fact that the clouds are starting to come back in the picture, and because of it, the Meeks need a full moon to stay in their Sulong form. And from the standpoint with the clouds covering the moon, Carrot ends up losing her Sulong form, and then we eventually cut back to the episode where Carrot is just ended up destroyed and everything, and she's getting beat up to hell and everything, and pretty much Perospero is like, you see, you made the mistake of coming to Mama's land and thinking you were smartasses because you escaped, but you see, this is your problem. You're just gonna die just like Pedro and everything. It kind of sucks because Carrot really can't do anything against Perospero. It's clearly shown that without her Sulong form, Carrot's pretty much weaker than Perospero, but Perospero's kind of like, get the hell out of here. I don't even want to kill you. You're just pathetic, little rabbit pretty much and stuff like that. And he kind of goes his way. We see him in this episode. He comes across Marco and looks like he's going to do something in episode 1022. So I won't bring that point up in 1022. In terms of what's going on top of the Battle of Onigashima, we finally get revealed to Kaido's man-beast form, or his hybrid form, which typically with the Zoans, you've seen this entire series, they can pretty much do half and half of their human self and then their Zoan animal spirit, and that's what Kaido is in, and everything. And pretty much he looks a lot more menacing, and you could say a lot more badass. His teeth is all crazy and stuff like that. And yeah, anyways, Killer goes in for an attack, but it does absolutely nothing because his scales in his man beast form are a lot stronger than in his dragon form. And then he ends up getting hit with an attack that pretty much knocks him out. And I guess I can carry and segue into episode 1022. Mind you, like I said, 1000 episode 2001 episode 1021 was solid. It was my more preferred episode and stuff like that. But yes, the cliffhanger of that episode was the whole Robin thing against Black Maria. But cutting into this, I'll actually pick up where we left off in the Battle of Onigashima at the top of Onigashima. Well, Kid makes sure to check on Killer, and Killer's like, yeah, I'm okay. It hurt, man. And in the meantime, Luffy's over here knocked out, which I forgot to mention. Luffy's like, yeah, I got 1 minute, so I'm gonna go to sleep. So he clonks out even in that part. Freaking Kid is like, how does this mother effer sleep, right now in the heat of fight, in the heat of battle? Okay, yeah, sure. But yeah, pretty much, the whole thing, Kaido ends up dishing out an attack against Law and Zoro because he's like, okay, now it's your guys' turn to see what you got. And he dishes pretty much out that tornado dragon freaking high pressurized wind attack that pretty much can cut you and stuff like that. Zoro and Law manage to dodge and block it and everything. But then all of a sudden, Big Mom gets into the picture. She's like, Mama, take this! And she uses a lightning attack, but Law uses shambles to move Luffy and Zoro out of the way. Because of this wakes Luffy up and everything. And pretty much, Law's making the point. He's like, well, honestly, we'd be having no problems if we didn't have to fight two emperors at the same time. Like, one of them is fine enough, but two of them at the same time, now that's a problem. Zoro's like, well, I like those chances we got. But anyways, Luffy wakes up because Zoro's like, dude, are you up now, finally? And Luffy's like, yeah, I'm ready to fight again. So, he charges up his Haki again. He's using Rio, and Luffy's getting back into the fight and everything. In the meantime, this episode was strictly centered around Hyogoro. and his whole potential sacrifice that might be coming. But we start the episode off really with Chopper almost succumbing to the Ice Oni virus, but he realizes he needs to freaking, continue this. Otherwise, all hope is lost pretty much. So he's continuing to make the antidote. But pretty much like I said, this episode is made just for Hyo. Now, Scratchman Apu is asking his men, like, why can't you get to freaking Chopper to get the antidote and stop this guy so we can have it for ourselves? And pretty much Apu's minions, some of the Beast Pirate minions are like, bruh, there's an unstoppable wall. We can't get past these guys. And he's referencing Hyo and Drake. And he's like, they're not letting us get by. And if we go out there, we're pretty much going to die or we're going to get turned into an Ice Oni. I'm not doing that BS and stuff like that. Which was freaking hilarious because they're like, pretty much the minions were correct. They're like, bruh, Queen doesn't give a shit about us. He is not going to do anything to help us. He is not going to give us the antidote to save us. He doesn't care about us at one bit. So this pisses off Apu and everything, but the Onibo Wanshu or makes a mention about Old Man Hyo in his form. He's taken the form of like back in the day, everything when he was rebelling against Kaido and stuff like that. But in the meantime, Old Man Hyo, he's starting to succumb to the Ice Oni virus, and the other bosses, the other Wano region bosses are pretty much like, yo, Old Man, Hyo, listen, are you okay and everything? And pretty much Hyo's like, listen, I don't think I got much left to frickin' keep my sanity because I'm going to turn into an Ice Oni and everything. So when I fully turn, I need you guys to strike me down immediately because if not, I have a chance to potentially wipe all of you out and I'll kill you, which, hey, makes sense. He would be a legitimate monster and stuff like that. Now, the bosses, they look like they're not so down with that and everything. But in the fight, Hyo pretty much kind of goes on a one-man army wrecking crew, taking most of the people down and stuff like that. And he's kind of just reminiscing about the time, and he's like in remembrance of Odin, or like speaking to Odin, and he's like, I really wish we kind of fought Kaido all those years ago, but Kinemon had a masterful plan for this raid and stuff like that. At the same time, I also gained a new apprentice that has some potential, and we get a flashback episode to Luffy pretty much kind of completing his training with Hyo in terms of Rio, and them pretty much agreeing that they're going to take down Kaido. And he was like, I remember that day. I didn't sense any, lies from what Luffy was saying and everything, and he pretty much is just going out the crazy. Now, Queen tries to interject himself into what Old Man Hyo is doing, and he tries to fire off an energy blast, but Marco gets in the way, fires up a fireball pretty much in his face, and it pretty much stops that. And right as Queen was about to freaking just have this energy beam fire off, it doesn't. It closes his mouth. He starts to bleed from the mouth because it closed on him and everything. And this is when we get an epic, animation set of Marco pretty much taking down, holding Queen and King off. Like, this dude is kicking their asses. But at the same time, Marco is very much aware of the fact that, yeah, taking two guys on with 1 billion berry bounties, this is not easy, man. I need somebody to help my ass. And you can clearly see he's starting to get exhausted, and at the same time, these are devastating attacks Queen and King are taking, but these guys are just like, oh, I'm gonna kill him, and stuff like that. And they're pretty much getting back up with hardly suffering any damn damage to Marco. So there's one stretch of this fight in terms of the animation. It looked really good. If you ask me, it was probably the best animated part of the damn episode. In the meantime, we cut back over to Chopper, and he has completed the antidote, and he's telling the other doctor's meets that he's going to try this out as a test subject because he doesn't know what's going to go wrong and what side effects that may happen. At the same time, they can potentially improve it if it ends up working. So he freaking takes it. There's some little things like the taste is a little weird and stuff like that, but it looks like Chopper, it's working and everything, and there's like these red cracks that are appearing over Chopper and everything, and it looks like it's starting to heat up, and also at the same time Chopper says he's having a fever and everything. So these get these cracks, and pretty much I'm guessing it's just the body heating itself up again due to the antidote, and it's gonna break the Ice Oni virus right then and there. So it seems more than likely enough the Ice Oni virus Ice Oni antidote is completed. It's just we'll see that next week, and it will probably be distributed next week and everything. In the meantime, Old Man Hyo, he absolutely destroyed the Onibawanshu and their group of members, but at what cost? He pretty much turns into an Ice Oni, and he looks like he's about to attack the boss region, like it was freaking thing where he was like over here, and the boss is over. There's one boss lady's over here because they asked the one guy, who's already been in Ice Oni, they're like, "Hey, are you okay?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm fine and everything. It's just I'm kind of a little bit, I'm just glad that I got this fire." But then they're like, "Wait, Old Man Hyo," and then Old Man Hyo eventually goes there. But the one dude who's already in Ice Oni kind of stops Old Man Hyo, holds him back, and pretty much he's like, "Yeah, I understand, but it's my time to go." Old Man Hyo gets on his knees, and one of the bosses gets a sword, and he looks like he's about to chop his head off, and pretty much, Old Man Hyo's looking, and it's looking like he's seeing Odin, like, saying it's time to come with me. And that's where the episode ends off with the fact that Old Man Hyo looks like he potentially could be dying next week in order to save everybody from potentially dying, because if he stays an Ice Oni, or if he turns into a full Ice Oni, he more than likely will kill everybody in the room. But like I said, I prefer the last week's episode compared to this week's episode, but this week's episode wasn't bad. There was definitely highlights to this week's episode. Now, apparently next week there's a filler episode. I don't know what's going on in Japan next week to why they're giving us a filler, but Yamato is going to pretty much be narrating the Odin backstory that we've already seen before and stuff like that. Maybe the anime's taking a break because if you don't know anything that's going on with the manga right now, the manga's chapter is officially going to manga's last chapter. The One Piece manga's last chapter for about a month is happening, officially coming out tomorrow, and then Oda is going to take a 1 month break to prepare for the final saga of One Piece in the manga. So I guess it kind of makes sense for this in terms of the standpoint. You might see a lot more, I would say a lot more, but maybe every now and then till the manga maybe returns, you may get a point where the anime may have filler episodes, so it doesn't get too close to where the manga's at and everything, in an event to where maybe the anime will have to stop production based on the standpoint that the manga needs more chapters to adapt, pretty much. So when I heard at the moment the manga was going to go on hiatus for about a month, I'm like, I won't be shocked if the anime, maybe in a few episodes, maybe 2 or 3 episodes, have like one of those fillery like episodes and stuff like that, so they can waste a week so the manga can get further into its hiatus till it eventually returns and stuff like that. So it kind of doesn't shock me that we're getting a filler episode. It sucks that we're getting a filler episode, but I kind of understand because the manga's going on hiatus for about a month, and even then the anime can catch up fairly fast unless they want to purposely do filler and they draw out the pacing and stuff like that. But that's kind of the thing that happens when you're kind of restricted to what the manga is and how close. And like I said, but where the manga's at and the anime, it's fairly close. It's not close, but you're getting to fairly important parts where you're going to get closer to where the manga's at and everything. So yeah, didn't see this filler coming. The only filler I knew the anime is going to come is you're going to get your typical episode filler for the anime in terms of preparation for One Piece Film Red that will be coming out in 2 months in Japan. But other than that, that's kind of it. So if you guys like the video, leave a like, put in the comment section your thoughts on the last 2 weeks episodes, as well as hit the subscribe button if you want to get more One Piece content. And when you do hit that subscribe button, make sure you hit that notification bell icon so you're up to date with whatever I upload to the channel. Till then, guys, catch you guys on the next video. See you guys later. Peace.